I'm sorry to have called you here, but it won't take long.
What's the problem?
We've got a new guest arriving tomorrow, Sarah Higgins.
Oh.
I'll explain later.
But why here?
It will mean extra headaches for us, but there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, I hope the department realises that we cannot be held responsible for what might happen to someone like Higgins.
She'll be kept in isolation to avoid trouble with the women. Meg will be redoing the rosters. It will mean extra work, but there's nothing we can do about it.
I suppose the department expects us to work extra shifts, eh?
They're aware of our staffing situation. Now, the second problem is the smuggling business.
Well, Warren didn't give any clues away.
No. She hasn't had any visitors lately, but someone must be helping her. I want to talk to Stan about it. I wonder if you'd go and find him, would you, Miss Ferguson, and tell him to come to my office.
Yeah, okay.
Now, what does a patrol on isolation do to these rosters?
Then maybe it's time you vote.
I must admit I'm not looking forward to this. She certainly put us in an awkward position.
Yes. It's always embarrassing when one of our side turns.
Doesn't look as though she was ever on our side. Well, we'd better get it over with. Call her in.
Higgins?
Mrs. Reynolds, nice to see you again.
I wish I could say the same. Sit down if you like.
Thank you.
Well, you've certainly run up quite a few charges, including jumping bail and running off to Sydney.
Just catching up on some old friends.
Judging from this, those so-called friends were former prisoners who'd received unusually early releases, signed by you. Frankly, I find it difficult to understand that you, of all people, could have become involved in these schemes. Apparently, you haven't denied any of it.
Why should I? The truth is, I was bored. All those hard luck stories and innocent faces. Unbearable. So I decided to try a little trading, push the system a bit. A few things the prisoners wanted in exchange for a few favors I could use. Let's face it, what prisoner doesn't want a shorter sentence?
And you obviously never stopped to think of the effect that this would have on the people running those prisons.
What difference does it make? Nothing ever changes. It's them and us.
I shouldn't have to remind you that you are now one of them.
Technically. It's not quite the same, is it? We're professionals. We understand each other.
I disagree. As long as you're in here, you'll be treated the same as everyone else. However, it'd be foolish to pretend that there won't be some women who may not take kindly to your presence. For the moment, you'll be kept in the isolation block.
Very thoughtful.
Mrs. Morris, would you take Sarah Higgins to her cell, please?
By the way, I hope you haven't forgotten that little favor I did for you.
Favor?
Mitchell, Mrs. Reynolds, remember? You asked me to be lenient on her. I kept my side of the bargain. I hope you're going to keep yours.
Let's go. Here we are.
So, this is home. Looks worse this side of the fence.
You'll get used to it. You probably know this inside out, but now you're going to have to live by it. A duty officer will bring your meals, and another officer will be in the vicinity all the time, in case you need help.
You honestly think one officer's going to be enough if any of that rabble come looking for me?
Perhaps this rabble isn't quite the mob you take it for.
Come off it, Mrs. Morris. They're a rat pack. They breed in places like this.
Just you keep your ideas to yourself.
And pretend it isn't true? Let me tell you, if civilization ever pulled its head out of the sand, it'd see the obvious solution. Sterilization. Stop them passing it down the line.
Is that so? Well, for your information, I was bred in a place like this. Yes. Yes, my mother happened to be one of those women you'd like to see sterilized. But judging by present company, I consider myself damn lucky I had the upbringing I did.
I wasn't actually referring to you, Mrs. Morris.
I don't care who you were referring to. Just make your bed. I'll be back in half an hour to check.
Everything went wrong when Mother died. I father fell in love with a real bitch. Criminal record as long as your arm. She moved in, and everything took a downhill slide.
It happens, I know.
My father believed he could rehabilitate her with love and understanding. She understood all right. She dragged him right down to her level. Once, just once, he nearly got out. Did you know I had a stepbrother?
No, I didn't. Where is he now?
Killed in a car chase at 19.
I'm sorry.
No need to be. I was glad when it happened. He was an animal. Anything for kicks. Yes, the bitch had bred another criminal.
What's happened to your father?
I don't know. She made it perfectly clear I wasn't wanted. Each day I could see my father turning against me because of the lies she'd fed him. I left home as soon as I could earn a living.
But surely after all this time you'd want to see him just out of curiosity.
As far as I'm concerned, my father died the day that woman walked into our house. The day I left, I vowed women like her would suffer. She should have been incarcerated for life.
I can understand your bitterness, but you're wrong. You can't judge other women by her guilt. There are some who genuinely try to get out of it. We must give them that chance.
There's no point.
You're wrong. I've seen quite a few leave here and make it. And I haven't been here very long.
Maybe. But they're the exceptions to the rule. For everyone that makes it, there are 10 who wind up back inside, bleeding society dry.
Even if you were right, that doesn't mean we should stop trying. Every success is worth 10, 100 failures. We owe them that much. As I'm sure you already know, Sarah Higgins is now a prisoner here.
Bad news travels fast.
So far, we've kept her in isolation.
For her own protection, of course.
However, what you don't know is that she's asked to be put in with you.
What?
And the department's agreed. In fact, they insist.
You've got to be joking. They need their heads rigged.
Myra, could I talk to you quietly? Before you say another word, I just want you to know that I'm as angry about this as you are.
Then don't do it.
I've got no choice. I don't know what the department's motivation is, but she is here and she's going to be joining me.
Then you're in for big trouble.
Needn't be that way. Not if you can. You could protect her.
Me?
Yes. I'm asking for your cooperation. Think about it, Myra. I don't know why the department's
The
doing
department can stick it.
it. I can understand you being angry at having to protect her.
No, that's not why I'm angry. I'm angry for those women. I'm angry because it's inhuman to ask them to live alongside that bitch. They don't want to hear, I don't want to hear. I can't make any promises. In fact, I don't want to make any promises. The department put her in here, they can bloody well suffer the consequences.
Only 3 to go, Mal. Want to put your money on it?
Oh, yeah, the way you're playing, forget it.
Yes, you're awfully good, Reb.
Oh, guess who they just put in the pound?
The one and only Lou Kelly.
Give the lady a cigar.
Now, what am I gonna do?
You'll be okay, love.
Got a new inmate for you ladies. Meet Sarah Higgins. I'll leave you to make her feel welcome. Oh, Warren, I've got a little job for you. You're on trade duty and there's a visitor in solitary.
I'll do it.
No, Desmond, it's no job for a top dog. Warren will do it. Oh, by the way, there'll be no softball today, ladies.
Oh, come on.
Instead, there'll be a class on handyman jobs. I'll pick out who I want to volunteer later. Come on, Warren.
This is going to be awkward for all of us, but I hope we can work it out.
Oh, would you please hurry up? I'm awfully hungry.
Oh, I don't think I am.
Isn't it funny? I always feel ravenous when I'm depressed.
Oh, I'm not depressed. Lyle will have my letter by now and he'll know it is.
Yeah.
This place has gone off, Jude. They'd feed anyone here.
Yeah, they're not too fussy about who's serving it neither.
That smell ain't the food, so don't complain.
Where's Bobby? I thought she was going to serve.
In the kitchen.
Oh, hey, listen, Sam here's a vegetarian, so she'll just have the vegetables, but I'll take her meat, you know, waste not, want not.
Thanks, Reb.
Pile it on.
I would like some food.
Go jump.
I would like some food. Now.
What's the trouble?
No trouble. Just a slight misunderstanding, that's all.